Hi class, welcome to project 4, our second to last project for this semester. Obviously the final project will be a bit longer, that's why, 6 weeks, 5 projects. So this week is a bit different in the sense that it's a case study. So when you're actually reading through the visualizations part of the syllabus, you realize that I'm putting you in an actual situation. This is a situation that technical writers or technical communicators find themselves in quite often. Which is, oh no, someone who's an expert or scientist doesn't know how to communicate. Can you use your communication skills to help this specific community? In this case, it's engineers and scientists working for the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. So you imagine yourself in this specific position. And as the case study goes, there are kind of 3 visuals that your boss shares that are kind of problematic. And you really have to deduce what's wrong with them. Some of the changes that need to be made are obvious. Some of them are less so. So you have to look through and to research how do you design data visualizations, even these most basic ones like bar graphs, line graphs, pie charts, these things that we all know and that we all use very often, but we understand that there are still very much problems with them. One of them is chart jump, which is just kind of an effect for the sake of being an effect. So you use like a sparkling color or a 3-dimensionality, and you're like, well, that's not really necessary. That doesn't really add anything to understand the data, right? Because the goal on data visualization isn't always like, ooh, let's make it as pretty as possible. And sometimes it is for larger public consumption, but in terms of researchers, the goal here is to be as clear as possible to make sure there is no room for interpretive error. So your task here, as it's shared, near the end, is you have to make an informal report articulating guidelines for choosing graphics in a spreadsheet program that would be useful to new R&D scientists, research and development scientists. So essentially, this is kind of a systemic problem in this community that you're a part of or working with. So you see scientists and engineers are kind of, they're really good at gathering data in this specific instance, but they're not really well versed in designing the visualization part of it. So your goal is to create an informal report that not only corrects these 3 graphics, 12.1, 12.2, and 12.3, and kind of offers what should be changed there, but to actually provide guidelines, best practices for moving forward about how these engineers in research and development should be designing visualizations within a spreadsheet program like Excel. So that's really the project. So informal reports is in the syllabus that we can use the Slack channel to share the informal report. So APA is, again, an academic template. By APA, I just mean the way you're going to be citing things is through APA. So in your references, in your in-text citation, but this is going to model and mimic an informal report, and I'll be posting throughout the week about what that might look like. What might an informal report look like? What does the page, what does the headings, what do the headings look like? Where do I start new pages? Kind of all these other genre-based features. So we'll be working through that as the week progresses. But in the meantime, what you need to do is research what are the best practices for data visualization. So how do we create effective pie charts? How do we create effective bar graphs, line graphs? What are they used for, right? A line graph is to show progression over time, for example. So if it's not showing progression over time, then it's really not the right visualization. So you have these visualization techniques like pie charts, like show parts of a whole of 100%. Obviously, it's a pie, right? So it's used for fractions in school and a variety of other things because it's parts of a whole. It's like a 1 unit thing. But when it's used improperly or out of context to show like progression over time or comparison and contrast, then that's not really the right visualization to use. You want to use a line graph or a bar graph, for example. And your goal or your role in this main goal, really, in this case study is to show scientists and engineers how to do that effectively. So you're kind of the communication expert in this situation, and you're writing a report, gathering all the research about what's out there for how to use or design these types of visuals effectively, and then frame it by way of correcting these current visualizations and say, when this visualization, it's you made this error, and it's really up to you to decide. You do your research and you look at the visuals and you try to. It's kind of detective work because I've created visuals that are intentionally ineffective. So you have to find out what are the errors in those visuals, and there's 1 or 2 in each of them. And then Yeah, and then we kind of go from there. And then you read through the report. So I'll be giving you guidelines on the report, but you do have to research it and you do have to present it to that specific audience using the names and the organization here and really kind of mimic. It's almost like a role-playing game. You're mimicking in this case study what it would actually be like to do that. So I'll help you with the formatting thing in Slack throughout the week, and let me know if you have any questions. But that's really the gist of it. So if you have any sources and you want to share with your peers, certainly do that. Pop it into Project 4 channel. That would be useful if you find a good source that shows when to use pie charts, when to use bar graphs, when to use line graphs, whatever it is, when to use tables, for example. Do you include tables and visualizations even? Hint, that might be one of the issues. So, any sources that you find and you want to share, then that would be fantastic as well. The goal here isn't to be like who can find the best things and let's keep these from each other. It's let's all research this together and kind of contribute to this larger pool of sources. I think that's really kind of the spirit of a good class. So, and it's what we would do if we were meeting face to face anyway. So trying to mimic that a little bit. So let me know if you have any questions. Get creative with it. Again, you're role playing essentially, and you're doing detective work, trying to figure out what's wrong with these visualizations and how can I communicate how to, so that scientists and engineers don't commit these problems to a conference audience in the future. Right? That's really one of the main goals. So that's your rhetorical situation that you're entering into. So don't worry about the formatting just yet. We'll talk about that in Slack throughout the week. But share any sources you find, any questions you have in the actual channel itself. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with.